Hello, Nattycasters. Today's guest is Jessica Roncker. Born and raised in Cincinnati, Jessica is part of a theme we have running on the Nattycast, looking at the paths people take in the arts that are behind the scenes versus on the stage. As we have explored in past episodes, for every star shining bright on the stage, there are countless others that make the show possible. Jessica shared with us the road that led her to working in tour management, from American Idols Live to the likes of Casey Musgraves and Carrie Underwood. As with most journeys in life, and especially the arts, the road is not always a straight path, but it can lead to great places if you are open to the possibilities. And now, here's our conversation with Jessica Roncker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nattycast. And now to your hosts, Tim Barker, Rex Stull, and Ron Thomas.
My dad was a teacher as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where'd your dad teach?
He taught at Elder High School.
Okay.
And then at
Nice.
Walnut Hills.
And at Walnut. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he teach?
Was
all
he
the police?
teaching there when you were at Walnut?
No, I was in preschool.
Okay.
But then when I was in kindergarten, my parents decided to open the running spot. And so Bob Runcker's running spot, that's when they opened it when I was about 5 years old.
And where was that?
It was in O'Brienville.
Okay.
And neither of my parents had any business experience. They didn't know a thing about having.
Well, that was still fairly early days of that kind of stuff anyway, like a dedicated running store.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it was the first one here, and now there's so many.
Yeah.
But,
Wow.
I mean, they said that they had a grad student at Xavier put together a business plan for them as like their like
We're gonna
student project.
We're
And
going
they're
to
like,
stop teaching and
yeah,
we're
well,
going
that
to
looks good. We'll go with that. And then
Well, they ended up. There was one in Newport as well.
there was one in Newport, Glendale, and a fourth one that I can't remember.
It's kind of a fake it till you make it sort of situation.
Completely.
Yeah.
But my dad truly loves running and everything about it, and he coached, and they had running groups, and so for him, I think it just
My hobby has turned into my
happened,
business.
yes,
kind of thing.
very naturally, because he was so into it.
Right. And your mom
That's
too?
awesome.
Or?
My mom was more of run to stay in shape, and I don't think I know she didn't love it, but she helped more in the background. She did more like she took classes to learn more about accounting and helped with the back end stuff.
Clearly they figured it out because, I mean, it was
They
very
totally
successful.
figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I was starting to say before is, if I had been a runner, that could have been my business.
You could have taken it over.
Yeah, when my dad was thinking, they had it for 35 years, and when he was thinking it's time to retire, he came to me and he asked if it were something I would be interested in doing.
Oh, right.
And at the time, I wasn't living in Cincinnati, and I was in a completely different place,
Right.
mentally, professionally. But I also thought, I don't even like running.
Yeah.
I'd be the worst person to run a running store.
I would run it into the ground,
That's right.
And I told a friend about it, and they said it could be Jess Ronker's Boot Barn and Social Club, because I love boots. I was
A little bar in the back,
Yeah.
everybody can sit around, right?
a little, just like bring in your fry boots, comp around, have a drink. I'm like, this is not great. So
A little bit of a pivot in the business model there.
yeah, I thought, I don't want to ruin my dad's legacy.
Wait a minute, but you did do some running.
I
Excuse me. Professionally, you did some running. Is that correct?
no. Oh, I get it. I did.
hey.
Yes.
How's that for a
That
segue?
was a
Did
good
Ron just
one.
segue us here?
Yes,
He did.
that was
All right.
clever.
Like professional
Yes.
segue from Ron Thomas.
That was how I got into music touring, is as a runner, which I didn't know what that was when they asked me to be a runner for a show in New York,
You
where I
thought,
was
well,
living.
my parents run a running store. I should be able to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, I did a few years.
Am I running to get coffee or what?
I thought I was showing up to be a stagehand. I thought I was going to be crawling around, and no, they're like, "Can you go buy some,
Yeah.
masking tape?"
Yeah.
And so I did. I was a runner, and that's how I started. Accidentally getting into the music business.
Who hired you to do that? How did you stumble across that job?
So I was living in New York, and do you guys remember Friendster?
Yeah.
On Friendster, I was friends with this guy, Ariel, and then we became friends in real life, and he had been in the music business, and his friends were promoters.
Okay.
And so he knew I had just quit my publishing job and hadn't, I had some like freelance stuff on the side. So he just thought, well, this is something you can do.
You can go buy gaffer's tape.
You can buy gaffer's tape. You can pick up, the lighting crew at the hotel, no big deal.
Yeah.
Drive a 15-passenger van around. So it was just through this friend who knew I didn't have regular work.
And said, hey, I got a gig you can pick up. Over here.
This is just an easy one-day thing, and who knows, it's just something to do.
Right.
And so the guys who were the promoters for the 2 shows that I was a runner for in New York were the American Idol promoters, and they needed a crew position filled last minute for the tour. This was in 2005.
Right.
And they knew that I didn't have a regular job, and I had just been working with them.
And you literally had a fresh credit as runner on on whatever you were doing there for the day. I've done this for 24 hours, so clearly I'm qualified.
I don't know if they were desperate or just really good at
all the above.
doing errands.
Hey, it's just like your parents, right? Hey, let's open a show. We're doing
oh my God, I never thought about it. This
you
is what we
followed
do.
in their footsteps.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah.
And this is so. Were you in New York in 2005? Or you were there a few years before, or
I was there 2002 to 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so how does this all begin for you? I mean, what's Cincinnati? You were born here, or
yes?
Okay.
Yep. Born here. My family's been here a long time. Like all
Good
my
Sam?
grandparents were born here. Christ Hospital.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Matthew was born at Crest Hospital. I think I might have been as well, to be honest. I have to ask my mom now. Now that I've said that out loud, I don't actually know what hospital I was born in. Maybe it was a Jewish hospital. I don't remember.
Dude, you had to be Good Sam, I would think.
You think? Okay. Well,
Maybe.
we'll take that back.
I mean,
We'll take that
Cliff
offline, and we'll fill everybody in later. What about you, Ronnie?
It was called General Hospital. It's now UC.
Sure, UC
now
Med Center.
UC Med Center. Yeah. Back then it was Cincinnati General.
And Tim, you were Good Sam.
Good Sam.
Good Sam. Okay. All right. Now that
now that we've
cleared this up, we really go back to the beginning here. We'll do kind of, it's like the roots, where you can go explore your root show.
Yeah, that was a cold open, and then now we'll go back to the actual stuff.
But so anyway, I saw that you went to Sands on your, so I did as well.
And I'm a Montessori kid.
Yeah, and Tim is as well. My parents were involved with actually starting what that was.
I love that. I love it. I love Sands so much.
Yeah.
And so I started there in 1980, and I think it was only Montessori for a year or so before that. So I was.
Yeah, that would have been about right. I think 78 it was regular Sands, and then the top floor was the Montessori floor.
Okay.
Right.
And I was all jealous because we didn't have air conditioning, but somehow they pumped air conditioning and put carpet and stuff up on that top floor.
Yeah.
And then that last year, I think that would have been 78 or 79. So the second half of my 6th grade year, I think, is when we all paraded up Freeman Avenue to Heberly.
Yeah.
And then Montessori took over all of Sands.
Yeah, because we so that school started in Mount Adams, across from the old Mount Adams school, and then moved down to Heberly downtown, where we shared Heberly with the neighborhood school Heberly, and they had part of the school, and then the same thing at Sands, and then eventually took over the whole of Sands. And I think you must have been, I think maybe my last year was, I don't know, something like that, like 79.
Yeah.
Like maybe I left, but by that point in time, they had the whole building.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was freshly Montessori.
Yeah.
And I have friends with young kids now who want to get their kids into Sands.
Yeah.
And it's like the parents have to camp out and do this, or lottery.
Now it's lottery. It used to be like tents for the weekend.
I thought it was like, I thought it was a tent city, but maybe they changed it. But either way,
it's still a pretty extreme.
we just showed up.
Yeah.
And we're so lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, I love just the mix of kids that were there, in every way. And the teachers were so
Do you remember
interesting.
any of your teachers' names?
Oh, yeah. John Burno was my favorite.
Okay.
I love John Burno. He really stood out the most to me. But two of my best friends now are people that I went to Sands with.
Okay.
And everyone, knows their teachers. Some of them are still friends with them.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
we all just have such great, vivid memories and hilarious memories of that place. I just think it was really special.
I agree with you. It was a fantastic place, and I went. Well, that's where I met these guys. We went to performing arts school after. I guess you went to Walnut then after that. And how was your Walnut Hills experience?
It was good.
Yeah.
After Walnut, I went to a Big Ten college for 2 years, and then to a very alternative college.
Are we going to name them, or are they not to be named?
Oh, sorry.
The way you said it's like I'm not naming any names.
Well, I didn't like the first one, but it was University of Minnesota. It was just
they're big enough. They'll make it.
I was drowning in a sea of students.
The whole big campus thing wasn't for you, right?
It wasn't a good
Yeah.
fit for me.
Yeah.
And so then I went to the most opposite and most like Montessori, which was the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington, which was like started by hippies in 1967, and no grades. No
wooden spoons.
It was like, what do you want to study, and then what should we give you credit in? It was literally a discussion.
Right. At least in Montessori, you got an O or an S or
no O's or S's.
None of that.
None of that.
Our professors wrote long essays about how we did, and then you would sit with your professor and you would say, okay, well, here's what we did in the seminar. Let's go through a normal school's catalog and see what matches up the most, and say, do you want, like, for instance, in one of my seminars, I got public health credit, women's health research credit, all of this stuff. A girl who was in the same exact seminar got 4 credits in witchcraft. I mean, honestly, like,
I hope you stay in touch with her, because I'm really curious how one puts the witchcraft degree to use.
I didn't stay in touch with her, but I mean,
Our parents were so happy about the witchcraft degree. We don't know. That's right.
We don't know. But
did I make your own parchment for the diplomas or something? How does that work?
I could have made friendship bracelets for 2 years and had a degree, but I actually, I think because, Montessori is so self-directed and creative, I was working my ass off and enjoying it.
You could have been studying witchcraft.
I could have been studying witchcraft and making potions and.
So when you're a senior though at Walnut, what's your how does even University of Minnesota get on your radar, and then let alone this school in across the country? Like how does that work?
So, yeah, the reason I thought of Evergreen is that Walnut is very classics and much more traditional, and I liked it because I like working hard at subjects that I'm into. But I like how things get on my radar is I just get ideas and I just go with gut instincts, and I'm not really a planner. I just sort of go, I'm going to try that. So at the time that I was in Walnut, I was always friends with exchange students, and from the AFS organization would always have students in the schools. And I was really interested in travel in other countries. And
had you done any traveling growing up?
Yeah, my parents both really liked to travel, and they didn't do a lot when I was younger just because, they had a new business. It's not like we had tons of money or anything, but they got me hooked up with the organization Children's International Summer Village.
Tim and I both,
right here, Malmo, Sweden.
I went to a village when I was 11 in Newcastle, England, and then I did a interchange, I guess they called it.
You did both?
Yeah.
I did both. So I went to a village, and then I went to Gothenburg, Sweden to do the
awesome.
The
That's
interchange.
fantastic. Yeah, I went to a village in Hamburg. Here in this village,
you may see children living happily. Oh my God.
That's right.
Oh my!
There's a song. There's a song. You have to
no.
Our village song. I mean, and that in and of itself was the coolest thing, because I was like a mommy's girl who just sucked my thumb and was afraid to do a lot, and then all of a sudden I was in another country for a month
with like one other girl and 2 boys, right? And a counselor.
And our leader.
Did you guys stay in touch at all afterwards?
With the kids I was in the village with?
Yeah. Or any of the others at the...
I stayed in touch with kids from the other countries for a long, long time.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, writing letter. We used to write letters.
Yeah, and, the other American girl in the delegation, she and I were super duper different.
Okay.
Go on. Go ahead. Come on. Go ahead.
I'm like, do I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can tell us. You can tell us where she's buried.
Let me just paint the picture. I have like big '80s glasses and like what we called a butt cut, which was like parted down the middle and then poofed.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody had those, didn't they?
Yeah. And
so was she more Wham or Motley Crue? Like.
No, she was like a cheerleader, Irish dancer from Westchester who was like had a cute little nose and was just had a perm, which I was so jealous of, and we were just so different. Like I was this sort of introverted.
There's a Taylor Swift song
awkward.
about this, I believe. There's with the right. She was the cheerleader. I'm on the whatever.
I'm sure there's a Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's got a song for everything.
Yeah. I was just the one who wasn't the cheerleader in that song.
Yeah.
But so was Taylor in that song, by the way, which I don't buy for a second, but that's okay.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I am too. But anyway, she played it well for the song. Yeah.
You guys Swifties.
I mean,
two Swifties battling it out, dissecting.
We're gonna stay in touch.
Matthew's gonna have a lot of editing to do on this episode.
Oh wow. But
so how's your first podcast going?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
And we're back.
I'm like, am I more nervous? Am I less nervous? Okay. So at Walnut, friends with the kids from other countries. And then I thought, I want to study international relations or something like that. And I got in my head that the University of Minnesota was good for that. I don't even know if that's the case, but I thought that's where I'm going to go.
Well, back then, there was no way to find out beyond a brochure or something, right?
Right.
I mean, it was,
Yeah. So I just did that.
What did your dad teach at Walnut? What was his subject?
At Walnut, I think he did counseling, like career counseling, something like that.
So did they have any input on like where you went to school, or was that not?
The NattyCast is proud to have the support of the National Alumni Association of the Cincinnati School for Creative and Performing Arts. I am a proud alumnus of SCPA, class of 1986, as are my co-hosts Rex and Ron. If you have listened to our past episodes, you will hear the stories of other alumni and faculty who have shared their amazing stories of how the school impacted their lives. The SCPA Alumni Association is looking to reconnect classmates from over the past 50 years and help to continue to find ways to improve educational opportunities for current SCPA students. From the Dare to Dream scholarships to simply spreading the word on class reunions, support for the association will go a long way in connecting the amazing community that is the SCPA family. Your annual membership fee of $40 will help support everything from the association's daily operations to alumni event programming. Membership dues for recent SCPA graduates are waived for the first 18 months. Visit us at scpaalumni.org to become a member, donate, or find other ways to get involved. Please don't forget to check out the official store for all your SCPA merch. Again, that's scpaalumni.org. And remember, as we celebrate the me yet to come, in time, we will all be stars. And now, back to the show.
I think they tried to give input, and I wasn't super
You weren't
receptive.
having it. Whatever they said, you crossed off the list, kind of thing.
I think
Right.
when I turned, it was the summer between 13 and 14. I went from that mama's girl who was so scared to be away from home and homesick the first week that I was in England. And then I did that interchange in Sweden. And that summer, like between 13, 14 or 14, 15, around then I was like, okay, I got this.
Right.
I know how the world works. And you know, like every 15-year-old, but I mean, I just took it pretty far. I was like, I don't need any
of this.
like advice or input. I'm good. So my parents definitely tried to
Right.
help me decide.
Because if they're both teachers, I mean, clearly education was something that they.
I think I was just kind of like a stubborn, independent-minded.
Did you have siblings, or was it?
I have one brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is disabled. And actually, here's an interesting point. Neil's 2 years older than me. And when he started in the public school system here, they wanted to send him to some sort of very institutional type of
I think that was probably pre-IEPs and all this sort of learning stuff now where they have for students to help get integrated into,
And my
For the listening
were not
audience, what are
into that.
IEPs, Rex?
That's a
Individualized education plan, I think.
That's right.
Thank you.
And it's a federal thing, and you can the school systems have to basically do an evaluation and create a learning plan for
individualized plan.
An individualized plan. But the school systems then have to follow. I mean, it can be anything from maybe just some tutoring all the way down to, students who really need full-time care in a classroom.
It can be, I think there's a huge spectrum there.
Yeah.
But my parents did not like what the system here wanted Neil to go into, and so they got a pro bono civil rights lawyer and sued the Board of Education.
Wow.
And that case went back and forth for years of winning, losing, appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And it went all the way to the federal Supreme, and they turned it down. And my mom had won the last case. And so that's where it stood.
I would be very curious. I bet that probably had played a large part into that a whole IEP setup.
It definitely had a regional effect because it did affect laws in our district,
right,
which included Michigan, Indiana, and another state. I can't remember what the other one was, but I think it had a 4-state reach. So that meant that Neil was then all along he was kept in regular public schools, but in a special ed class, and at the time I think he ended up going or stayed at Pleasant Ridge Elementary, and had some great teachers, and then he went to Woodward, but the whole idea was just mainstreaming and having more supports in regular
inside the regular schools.
The regular schools. Yeah. And then he was able to stay in Cincinnati Public, I believe, until age 21. So he was in.
Is your brother and your folks, are they still with us?
Yes.
No.
Yes. So
where part of town did you guys live in?
We lived in Hyde Park.
Okay.
And my parents are still there on the same street. My brother now lives in Westwood.
With the cheerleader from your camp. No. I'm sorry.
Shannon, if you're listening. I'm sure you're great. I'm sorry. We didn't keep it better.
Came out fantastic for her. Don't worry about it. All right. Yeah.
And now where do we go from here?
I don't know. We were apparently making your own degrees up there in Washington or somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Now she's dissatisfied with University of Minnesota, and then Olympia,
Evergreen.
Washington.
Evergreen. Yeah.
Do you have any idea how you found Evergreen?
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, that one I probably did the most planning on that I've ever done. So my parents knew that I was not happy at Minnesota, mainly because I hopped on a Greyhound to tell them in person, like one day, that first year, like that first or second quarter.
Like, this isn't working.
Yeah, I had like tickets to go to a rave, and I was like, here, gave them to someone, got in the Greyhound, and then.
If you take the dog back from Minnesota, you're
19
unhappy.
19 hours.
Yeah, that's a
wow.
And I called my dad from that old Greyhound station down here.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, how's the weather in Minneapolis? I'm like, I'm here at the Greyhound station. Can you pick me up? And I just cried to them and just said, I don't like this. And they convinced me to they said, well, you really like Spanish. Why don't you do just a program where you could finish out the year.
Was this your sophomore year?
This is my freshman year.
This was your
I quickly was like, this
right.
isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And so I finished out the year by escaping to a study program in Cuernavaca, Mexico. And then I started actually researching what I can do next. And I was just looking for schools that were weird in the opposite.
Right.
And Evergreen popped up, and my parents were pushing for, there was a liberal arts school, I don't remember what it was called, but it was in North Carolina. And like, I even went there with my mom and looked at it. And then I, unbeknownst to her, like took a train trip out to Washington and checked out Evergreen and enrolled.
Wait a minute. You took a train from here.
From Minneapolis.
To Washington State.
Washington to
Did that take like
look at
7 days?
Yes, but it was like a million times better than the
Greyhound.
I love a train.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I
You can walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you
I
on
love
that
trains.
one.
Yeah, you can talk to people. So yeah. Then
So you really just snuck off to go. Is this it?
I wanted to see it in person,
Yeah.
and then my mom brought up the school in North Carolina. I was like, actually, I enrolled in this other place.
Oh. So you went out to see it and enrolled
And
in
like signed up while I was out there, and then
and ended up loving it. It sounds like.
then,
Did you?
yeah, I liked it. I mean, I was only there actually for a year because I did my last year in South America through a Washington State program. And this is actually a theme always, is just like like I'm like getting an idea and then going it.
Yeah,
So
hey, nothing wrong with that.
So
Yeah.
you did Mexico for part of you when you were in Minneapolis.
in
and
Minneapolis,
then you
and then I was at Evergreen, and then I finished out through a Washington program
All right.
in Ecuador. But I loved Evergreen. I don't know if I would have loved it for 4 years.
right.
Yeah.
But for the time that I was there, it was fantastic.
And your Spanish obviously must be really good after Mexico and Ecuador, right?
I mean, yes, that was a while ago, but yes.
That's
Oh.
great.
and then was that the same?
SOCKS.
What's that?
Go ahead, Ron.
No. I was just saying SOCKS. Does anyone remember that old commercial?
No.
When it's
Why
about
did I
learning
give you
to-
the lane?
Oh, I was going to say.
Sorry.
You should have known that something.
I
Well,
thought.
yeah, learning to speak Spanish. Well, but I can't speak a foreign language. And then the guy asks, well, can you spell socks? And the woman goes, sure, SOCKS.
Oh, my God.
Well, you just spoke Spanish.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
right,
all right.
Come on. Where are we here? Where are we?
So
That
you
means
graduate.
it is
I'm
what
trying-
it is, by the way.
I'm trying
Tim's going
to
to put us back on the track here.
Yeah, I'm
back on
trying
the
to-
train track.
Thanks,
So
Tim.
it was international affairs. You said was what you were at Minnesota, and then now you're graduating. You're graduating with what? With like the intent of.
The Natty Cast is supported by Mad Cheese. Mad Cheese is a completely plant-based, dairy-free cheese and charcuterie shop located in Madisonville. The owners, Cincinnati natives Heather and Reggie Donaldson, handcraft over 30 different plant-based cheeses and meats in their commercial production kitchen behind the storefront. You're invited to stop in and sample the wide array of products, book a curated tasting, or sign up for the new subscription box program, which will feature an exclusive new cheese every month with recipes and board building tutorials. For more, head to Instagram and Facebook at Mad Cheese Cincy or go to www.madcheese.com. And with that, back to the show.
No intent. I just thought I'm going to learn things and then I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
And your degree,
With a
you said, was in-
desire to ...
I mean, what I was focusing on at Evergreen was public health, cultural studies, but the whole school is taught interdisciplinary. So it might have woven in some Caribbean studies or some feminist thing. Like it
Sure.
was all woven together. But I tell people my degree focused on public health because that was what I did a big independent study on, and I was
Right.
studying healthcare coverage and women's health. However, my diploma says liberal arts.
Right.
Which every diploma there says. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but when I got back from Ecuador, I came back to Cincinnati for a little bit, then moved to Seattle and worked through AmeriCorps for a Latino health clinic in Seattle. And so I did try that for a little bit.
Awesome. Did you like Seattle?
Yeah, I did like it for a few years. And then I thought, I want to go to a place that's a little bit edgier and like a little less easy to be.
Less rain.
I was like, everyone here is sailing and
life
taking it easy.
Life's a little too easy out here.
It's a little too easy.
Right.
A
little more grit in the...
Yeah, did you move over to Detroit from there? I mean,
New York.
New York, all right. So just,
And how'd you like New York? Where exactly were you living here in the city?
I first was in Brooklyn and Williamsburg in one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot that's where you are. Yeah. That place didn't work because my room was the space between the kitchen and the living room.
Yeah.
That's generally referred to as a hallway.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sure is.
That's right. When your room is that space.
That is sure what it felt like.
The definition of that space is. Because people need to be in the living room and the kitchen, so
Correct.
they go through your bedroom.
And they didn't always want to walk into the hallway to come back in the kitchen.
Right.
I was like, this isn't. So then I moved to the East Village and had like 4 roommates there in a place that was amazing. Nice. Until that combusted because the woman who was kind of in charge of the place, she ended up getting tired of New York and all of us young whippersnappers. We were all in our 20s and she was in her 40s. And, I feel like every generation that goes through New York is like, this isn't what it used to be. And so she's pissed at us.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm out of here. And she went back to her homeland of New Zealand and left like all her bills, all her shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And all of her things. And then the place.
You mean like literally just left?
Quite literally.
Wow.
Not
We're
cool.
like, oh, Jolene's in a lot of debt because all of her bills were coming.
And it basically stopped paying rent on this place, I guess? That's fantastic. That's just great.
It did not feel fantastic.
No.
We tried for a while, but then I took over the lease, but then the woman who owned it just ended up selling it. So, and then I moved to the Bronx for at most 6 months before I was a runner and got on the American Idol tour, and then I was just gone.
So literally back to the running thing. So you did the one day and almost
2 days, and then
quickly you got signed up to the American Idol and just ended up going on the road?
Yeah, because the promoters, they had created this new position with this other
and the tour was
company.
leaving.
Tour was leaving because as soon as the TV show was over, they would bring the top 10 out of the road. And they wanted someone to go out and be in charge of making sure that there were towels put where towels need to be put, and towels are cleaned every night, and laundry is sent out. And
somebody can dab Ryan Seacrest's head, sort of thing.
There was no dabbing.
There was no dabbing.
No. And they called the position the towel girl. So I went out as the towel girl.
Wow, that meshed well with your women's studies program.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy who did it before was towel boy.
Oh, okay.
So I
all
thought,
right. So it's okay. So that
it's
worked.
not like it was just me.
It's gender specific, Rex.
Yes.
That's right. Okay,
we were all.
You're all girls or boys in the towel position. Right.
Yeah. So that just appealed to me because it was so ridiculous and funny.
I'm not really American, but so who was on this season? What was the season?
Carrie Underwood was the winner.
Oh, was that like the?
It was
early
into it.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't watched it. I actually watched my first episode a few months ago. Honestly.
You really? Even during the
For
tour?
real. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I would always watch.
She lived it. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't watched it before I was Towel Girl. And then when I stayed on the tour doing other positions, I would watch the finale so I would know
who's coming.
who was.
Mm.
Or no,
gotcha.
that's not true. I would go to the finale. I would go out to LA, go to the finale because then the tour would start. Then setting up the tour and everything was starting.
Oh, okay.
But I would start to like peek at it towards the end to see like who am I
and for
be with?
clarification on my end and for the audience, hopefully. So this is. Are you doing the tour where they're going to cities trying to find people, or
No.
is this the tour of like the winners that are performing
Yes.
for audience? Okay, gotcha.
It's the top 10 winners.
Gotcha.
So I've never done anything with the TV and auditions and all that. This was
Understood.
when
Okay.
the TV show ends, they would do a live arena tour for the summer.
Okay.
And put the top 10 who were on the TV show out on tour to go to your local town and perform.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started out as towel girl, and then where did you end up? Where did you work your way up to?
So Towel Girl was in 2005, and then I was tour managing it in 2009.
Wow.
Okay,
Runner,
there you go.
towel girl, tour manager.
Tour
It
manager.
really is.
Yeah.
It's
And that's the top of the
It's
heap.
a battle of
basically.
attrition
Yeah.
around.
Wow, nice.
You just keep making the cut. It's the same idea, right?
Wow.
You just keep getting.
Yeah.
All right.
Not what I
That's
was thinking
outstanding.
with my liberal arts evergreen degree.
Well, but you were still learning stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely. Yeah. So I assistant tour managed it for those 3 years in between, and then when the tour manager moved on, the management company knew that there were some things I needed to learn still, and so they put in some extra time, just getting me up to where I needed to be. But they trusted me just from the years.
Oh, that's
before.
great.
What type of venues are you playing? Are you playing like stadiums? Are you playing like
It
5,000 to
was
6,000?
arenas and amphitheaters.
Okay.
Yeah,
'cause
so
those-
large, but not stadium.
Yeah. Did you ever do Riverbend in Cincinnati?
I did. I went to Riverbend
Okay.
and to U.S. Bank Arena.
Oh,
Gotcha.
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when we were at Riverbend, a bunch of idols jumped in the river behind the amphitheater, and I was like, "Oh God!"
never a good
I
idea.
don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know it's been cleaned up since I was living here, but
Still
I
not
don't
a
know if
great
it's
idea.
been that
Still-
clean.
yeah.
Still
Yeah.
not a great idea.
It made me nervous.
Ooh. You don't say. Oh,
It's
man.
kind of fun
I
coming
can't
back,
imagine that.
back to your hometown, I think.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
fun? You
Yeah.
have friends come and things? did
Yeah,
it?
my friends and family would
Yeah.
come, and it was I mean I don't know if a single one of them were actual fans of the TV show, but it was fun
Well,
because
you weren't, apparently. So
no,
that's
yeah,
great.
because I mean I liked the job just because of the people I worked with and
Sure.
the relationships, and so it didn't matter if I was a big
Well, there's something.
TV show fan.
I'm sorry. There is something. I mean, I'm sure that's part of the appeal of it, of taking unknown people and thrusting them here, and then all of a sudden you're elevated up to kind of the highest levels to where you're playing an arena or coming into Riverbend or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's pretty crazy.
it is
actually.
for all those people, right? To be around whatever
Yeah.
that energy is, as these people start to figure out, who they are, and the fact that this might become real for them.
Yeah. And I hear people say like, well, nothing happened with most of them, and the fact of the matter is a lot of them, from what I can tell and what I know, for some of them is they're working. They're supporting themselves,
Yeah.
performing or making music. I don't, writing music, whatever they're doing.
Right.
I don't know. Somebody needs to tell Kelly Clarkson that things
Yeah.
didn't work
I mean,
out.
there's
or Carrie
the-
Underwood or
There's
whoever.
the obvious standouts.
Right.
No, but I mean,
a lot
in
of
the
them,
next
a lot of them,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
come to New York and they'll do Broadway or they'll slot in on.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Oh, they're all
use
over
that
the
as-
place.
Yeah.
They're all over
Yeah.
the place. Yeah.
So, it was a trip
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're touring American Idol, you're doing stuff in New York, all this going on. Were you meeting, what type of people were you meeting through this whole journey? Were you meeting like folks from here or from around here, things like that?
Through
Just
touring?
through touring or through your work in New York, were you meeting a lot of, I mean, not just people in general, were you meeting a lot of people from Cincinnati or making connections to people from back here?
Oh yeah, I mean even at Evergreen, I was friends with someone who was from Columbus, and we ended up being roommates for some time. And I was like
Wow.
renting a room in his house, but then after I moved out, he said like a few weeks after I moved out, I think he said like a car pulled up and it was a Hamilton County plate, and it turns out it was a girl who was in my year at Walnut who just happened to, she was like dating someone who lived,
Yeah.
there were all these weird connections, but I remember on 4th of July, we were all sitting in the driveway, and he's like, there are like 6 Ohioans in the driveway right now. And some of them were friends who were visiting, actually friends of mine who I met in Over the Rhine when we were doing an internship for a year before high school and college, rehabbing abandoned buildings in Over the Rhine. Some of those roommate friends were visiting me. And then, like, in New York, I became friends with someone who's one of my best friends now. She was actually from Dayton, but went to UC.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the founding nature of this podcast was just the fact that, we've all ventured out into the world, and kind of this strange, you're in whatever, Washington, all of a sudden you have these ties back here. It just seems like strange tentacles out into the world.
It used to happen more.
Yeah.
But it would be really, really common where I would end up like clicking with someone and they're from Ohio or they're from Cincinnati.
Right. Yeah.
And
did you, when you were on tour, did you base yourself here, or were you stay in New York, or did you? I mean,
I put my stuff in storage in New York, and I was intending to just do this funny job for a summer and then go back. And
you were buying gaffer's tape for 2 days, and then 4 years later, you're managing tours, right?
I was like, I know how this is going to go. Right. This is a clear path.
That's right.
No, I was also on the side because before I was the runner, I worked for a book publisher, and one of those authors, I was helping her with some things. She was writing political books, and I was doing research for her and some other things like paying her parking tolls, kind of like personal assistant, like a real range.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like, can you pay off the tolls that I blew through and research my upcoming nonfiction, my series book?
Sometimes these writers have trouble functioning in the real world, right?
I'm like, sure,
right,
I guess
okay.
so. And so I was going to return to New York to help her.
Gotcha.
Help her, like, do the research. And I don't know if she just was aggravated that I was gone for 3 months, or if she thought that what I was doing made me like not a serious person, but she fired me when I was gone, and I had my stuff in storage, and so the job I was going back to fell through.
There, right.
So I did come back to Cincinnati, and it was just kind of like depressed in my parents' basement for a bit, just like, oops, I maybe was, I don't know if I was done with New York, but I certainly didn't want to, like, it didn't feel like it was much of my choice, because without any backup, it's hard to subsist there for very long.
Sure.
So then I was just kind of mobile for quite a few years, and would just have my stuff in storage, and I didn't own anything then. It was just kind of like books and clothes.
Right.
So it's not like, my storage space could be very small. It's not like I had food.
Yeah.
And you went on, though, to manage other tours then after.
Yeah, so then when I realized it was sticking, and I was like, I guess.
You're like, I've done this longer than anything else I've ever done,
Yeah,
right?
apparently. Oh, God.
Couldn't even get through 4 years of college in one place, right? So, but I've done this for 4 years.
And probably the only reason is because it's like moving
around.
changing.
Moving around.
Enough changing scenery, right?
Yeah. Who did I work with after that? Oh, yeah. I started working with different idols, just helping them with their promo tours after they would leave the TV show.
Right.
And then in the interim, I worked on a Spice Girls reunion tour.
There you go.
Outstanding. There's nothing.
Did some Disney High School Musical.
Oh, wow.
I was a
there you
teleprompter operator for them on their South American tour.
Oh, wow. Because of your Spanish background.
That's right. They're like, somebody has to run the prompter who at least can pretend like they speak Spanish.
Yeah, more than SOCKS for sure.
Definitely one cast member of Disney High School Musical. I know I definitely translated something wrong because he belted something out, and there was a very weird response from, and this was a stadium, and I just remember him like looking to the side because I was sitting side stage doing like scrolling, and I was like, ooh, that was not right.
I have a question. What are some of the similarities or differences of like working with Carrie Underwood as opposed to Idol?
I would say probably the biggest difference is with Idol, it is, even though it's not the TV show, it is run by a related management group of people. And all of the rules and our procedures and the way things were run, none of that came from us. It came from the management company offices in LA, and then those of us on the road. And so the performers, whether they were number 1 or number 10, were still brand new in that
they
role.
didn't have a lot of say in
They didn't have a lot of say in how things went, because it wasn't necessarily, it was about them, but it wasn't their tour.
Got it.
So they had to follow as many rules as everyone else. Like,
Sure.
It was very equal in that way. Whereas when you're working for someone who is established as their own artist, there's much more of, it's their show.
What they want.
Yeah, they're deciding how it's going to run and how it's going to go.
And how long did you work with her?
With Carrie?
Yeah.
So this is fast forwarding to just a few years ago. I was in grad school here at UC, studying community and organizational psychology. And Carrie's tour manager, who I know from that Idol tour, he's the person who said, I think you could be doing more than towels, and brought me on to be his assistant tour manager. He needed help and wanted to know if I would be interested in going back out on the road. And I said, not really, I'm in school, but it's the summer. It was right when it was going to be summer break at UC. So I said, I could come out for these months and buy you some time to find like the right person for this.
Okay. It was a full-blown summer tour, meaning you're doing 6 shows a week or something.
What was it? It was leading up to one of her albums was coming out.
Gotcha.
It was a lot of
like
album promo
and
festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I just did that for a few months and then finished up school. And right after I graduated, he called me again and said, have you graduated and have you found a job yet? And I said, I just graduated, and no. And so he said, I know you don't want to be, full blown like you were in the past, but let me send you the schedule. And if it's not too busy, like, let me know if you'd consider it. So
I think I saw you did Casey Musgraves as well.
Yeah. So that was, so I'm with Carrie now, but it hasn't been something that it's more on a kind of interim temporary basis.
Okay.
And there's a show coming up here in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, we have a show here in Cincy next Friday.
Is that,
a week from
that
today.
Big Blue Ash Festival? Is that what that is?
It's in Westchester.
Oh, Westchester.
It's at VOA, Voice of America.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in between where we're talking about now and back in the Idol day, I eventually moved to Nashville, and that was the longest place I was based anywhere was Nashville.
Okay.
And I worked with Lauren Elena from Idol and then Casey Musgraves. So
when was that? What years were that?
2011 to 17.
Okay.
Okay.
How'd you like Nashville?
I love Nashville. Yeah.
I want to get there, man. That's a town that's on my list. I hear such
Nashville's
great things
fun.
about it. Yeah.
Everyone who lives there, though, seems constantly shocked by how much it's changing, because I think it has such a
It's like New York. This place is gone. It's just like you went, go and move back to New Zealand.
Like Jolene.
New York's always changing, man.
Well, I think that's probably true anywhere, right? I mean, you just, you end up 20 years in, people are, you turn into the grumpy person. This isn't what it was.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always
That's
going to have
Ron.
that, man.
That's Ron's like that down here now.
But Nashville did undergo, but it was a very compressed period of time.
Yeah.
When so I was doing a lot of work down there.
Well,
and
that
it
huge
just
music
went,
scene
holy cow.
migrated from Los Angeles. A lot of it was in
Yeah.
L.A. All migrated down to
I think it
Nashville.
was kind of I think it happens in a lot of places, but it was extreme in
It was
Nashville.
very
because
extreme.
I would go out of town on the road, and I would come back, and there would be new structures on my own street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?
Well-
How did I not?"
I remember at one point in time, there was as many tower cranes on the skyline in Nashville as there were skyscrapers.
I think there still is.
Yeah.
It's really it's still like exploding.
Just exploding like that. Yeah.
because people are moving there so much, and so
I know you were saying before, Jess, about a lot of things are impulse for you, but like, has music always been a big part of your life, or given that all of these opportunities surrounding music and artists and whatnot, like
growing up here, I was going to Bogart's all the time and going to down on Vine Street. Oh, the Warehouse. Do you guys remember?
Oh my!
Oh
yeah.
my!
Wow.
Oh my! Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
The Warehouse and Bogart's.
Yeah.
And maybe, what was that place? The Mad Frog?
Yeah.
Oh, Mad Frog. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tore it down. It's gone.
I just
now.
noticed that last week. I
Yeah.
was talking to someone
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Talk about change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole area of Cincinnati
Yeah, it
around
looks
the
totally
university.
different.
Yeah, it's new and yeah.
Yeah, around UC is kind of like Nashville. It's like these
Yeah.
new huge structures
Yeah.
appear.
How did you end up going back to college in the middle of all this? You went to get your master's or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
We just mentioned you were like at UC
Yeah.
finishing up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
but that's right in the middle of all
Yeah,
this.
we did kind of skip through that, but yeah.
yeah, so I'm in Nashville, and I love my job, and I love who I'm working for and everyone I'm working with. But it started feeling out of control in that I put so much of my energy into doing the job well and making sure that everything was really smooth on the road and everything's executed and being able to handle anything that I'm thrown. Like, people would tell me later, like, you have such a good poker face. Like, the most insane situations could arise, and apparently I would just be like,
Let's go.
I got
Let's
that.
go fix that. Yeah.
yeah.
And it got to a point where I thought it felt too out of balance. Like, I wasn't attending to my own life and nearly as much as all the lives around
Give
me.
everybody 30 seconds. What is the life of a tour manager, assistant tour manager? What are you doing? Like, what is the morning, noon, and evening? What's that look like?
Well, it depends on what kind of tour you're doing. Like with Idol, we would start setting up the summer tour in maybe February, getting everything set, booked, ready to
You're talking
roll.
about housing, transportation.
Oh yeah, like all of the.
Dates.
So you're contracting all of the vendors. So the audio, the visual, the lighting, the catering, every component that is either rolling in a truck or showing up in that particular city. You're choosing the vendor, you're signing the contracts, agreeing to all the terms. Then you're booking the hotels in every place.
Were they riding on buses? Were they
Yeah,
chartering
we would
buses?
ride on buses. So
Yeah.
that was one of the contracts, is like which buses, all that stuff. You're computing all of the mileage between the cities. You're getting all of those details together, and then you're like printing it all up in your tour book. And this is, it's done differently now.
Sure.
Like, we're not printing up a book anymore. It's all on an app. But, and then the summer was just like, after a show, we would get on the bus, drive however many hours, check into a hotel, get up the next day, go to the arena, and the crew had already been there for hours setting it up. They had probably showered at the arena, and then we would roll in, and then it was like
Sound check and
eat, sound check,
yeah.
meet and greet, media, show, pack it up, go to the next place.
Wow.
Now, who handled the T-shirts?
The T-shirts.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of times they have to, like, people from the tour have to go out and sell merch and
Yeah.
stuff. Or did you have your own merch team?
There
or-
was, I can't remember for Idol,
Right.
Oh, okay.
but it's different. Like when I got to Nashville, it was different because it was more like Weekend Warrior, where you would go out for a long weekend,
Right.
come back home, be home for.
Because those more established stars aren't literally city to city to city. They're rolling out for a weekend tour and then coming back.
I think it's more common. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some established stars still do those long tours, but in Nashville it was much more common. Be gone for a few days, be home for a few days. So in and out. Yeah. And at the time when I started that, I thought, oh, this will be easier to manage because I'm going to be home a lot more regularly. But when you're tour managing, at least you are setting for those days that you're home.
Constantly looking in front, right?
Mm-hmm. You're settling the finances.
Okay, from what
you just did.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you're setting up the logistics for what is about to happen. So after enough years of that, I think I was just working always.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was not healthy anymore for me. Mm-hmm. But it was also really heartbreaking to get out of it.
Sure.
Because I really loved the people I was surrounded by, but I just thought, I don't want to wake up one day and my parents are 90 and
you've lived your life on the road.
I'm not much younger and I haven't been around enough.
Yeah.
And I haven't been really present for what's happening with, my parents and my brother and so I ended up moving home for that reason.
Like out on the road, give us an example of some unexpected thing or what somebody wouldn't expect happening. Give us just an example of a calamity or something people wouldn't expect. Or
well, there was a year we had Hurricane Irma chasing us.
That's a problem.
Yeah. And we had to keep rerouting. So, we'd done all the setup, booked all the stuff, had the book printed. And then the hurricane kept affecting
where you were going
for several days.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
And we had to reroute the buses and go to different hotels. And I remember when we did get to, I think it was Providence, Rhode Island, their places were all boarded up and so sometimes just stuff like that will happen on the road. Where you're like, oh, okay.
Any huge HR problems out there on the road?
There's no HR on the road.
Yeah, what about, okay.
That might be one of the problems.
What about a human? Okay, we have Hurricane Irma. What about something that people did?
There's so many personalities, so many different backgrounds when you're on the road, and then you are living on a tiny bus. Even if you're going to a hotel room, you're on that bus for morning, and sometimes on different tours you're not going to hotels, so you're sleeping on the bus. You're eating breakfast.
Straight bus and truck.
And so the people you work with are also your roommates, and so.
But it's even more than roommates. I mean, you are too close for other human beings at that point.
And they're the people who you see when you roll out of your bunk and you're like a mess and you don't have it together yet and you haven't had your coffee yet, and so it's such a unique job because you get to know each other so well.
That's right.
And I mean, I really like that. I made some really good friends from it.
You at least had decent buses though, right?
Yeah, except for when we were in the UK with Casey, and I didn't know how far in advance you need to book your UK buses. And so I ended up with this bus. I was like, this is a Partridge Family bus. It was so old.
Oh, no.
It was like we are camping but rolling. That's what it felt like. It was so ancient and musty.
Yeah.
It was like an old tent from the 70s.
Oh,
that was also a bus.
It's kind of like the Partridge Family at that point.
That is exactly. I was like, this is us.
Well, come on, get happy.
And how long have you been living now back in Cincinnati?
Since 2017.
Since 17, okay.
Yeah.
And are you dialing into the art scene at all around here? You do anything around here?
I'm trying to. I want to get more into what's happening locally. That's really my goal, is to be able to use some of what I did touring with some of what I learned schooling, and to be in like a really good creative job type of role that's also rooted here would be ideal for me.
So all that time on the road, did you become like coffee? Are you a coffee person or tea?
I was a coffee person always, but I became a coffee person where it was like the people I was on a bus with, when they would get up in the morning, they'd say like, what number cup is that? Like, which one are you on? Like, is this cup 1 or cup 2?
To gauge your...
Yeah, because it was best at cup 2 and after.
Right.
Like,
They'll leave you alone for the first...
it wasn't, it wasn't a deal breaker, but it would be better at cup 2 or later.
Yeah.
So it was...
You have any local favorites? You're in Cincinnati?
Coffee?
Yeah.
I really like La Terza. It is a local man. I cannot remember his name. It's a roastery.
Okay.
And then he stocks it in coffee shops here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure it's La Terza, but it's very...
And you live where now locally? Where?
in Norwood.
In Norwood.
Okay, yeah.
So no good locals over there? No good coffee shops that you go to? I don't know Norwood that well. It's like, it's one of those... Well, you grew up here. It's one of those Cincinnati things, right? I mean, it's like places you just... It's always been right there. I mean... You grew up in Hyde Park, Norwood is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that is Norwood even Norwood anymore, with that
There's
not season 52. What is it? The old card factory.
La Terza, you are correct.
but-
You were correct,
but-
Jess. That
It
is
is.
correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Matthews chimed in and says she is
Yeah.
correct. It's La Terza.
Okay.
There's a tight little spot in Northside on Hamilton, coffee shop. I
What
don't
is
know
that
the
place?
name.
We went there, Tim. You and I went there.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
moms. Oh, I don't remember the name
Yeah.
of the place. You ever go over to Northside's got a whole happening scene.
I'm in Spring Grove Village most of the time is where I've been staying. That's where my boyfriend lives.
Okay.
So I've actually, technically I live in Norwood, but
Right.
I'm mostly actually in Spring Grove Village. So
Because-
Northside is right there.
Because even when you're local, you need to be traveling. You have a suitcase involved. I can't
I'm like,
stay here.
I'll commute.
Do you really do that? You just have like that existential suitcase next to the door.
People make fun of me with my bags. They're like, what do you keep in there? And then the time inevitably comes where I do need to pull out a flashlight. And I'm like,
That's right. I got my go bag. That's right.
you know what? There's more where that came from, But no, I love Northside.
So, I mean, as we wrap this up, what are you thinking about? What is the next? You're not much of a planner, but what are you looking at doing? You were talking about getting more into the local art scene, more. Or you think you're going to go back out on the road again? What do you?
Well, right now I do have plans to be on the road, and it just kind of depends. I'm working with one of my old American Idols. I'm doing some shows with her, with Lauren Elena this fall. And that's new. And
What
I
size
And you're
van-
managing these? You're tour
I'm
managing
tour
these?
managing
Okay.
these.
What size venues does she play? Like theaters or?
I literally just started
Oh.
advancing this
Okay,
week,
okay.
but the one I just saw was like 5,000
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And so I'm sort of patchworking stuff together. Like
Sure.
I have some shows with Carrie, I have some shows with Lauren. But I'm trying to incorporate some more, like, how can I do some of this here? And community and organizational psychology is all about having a good system, whether it's a community system or a company or organization, whatever that system is, just that it's set up in a way that benefits people.
Well, it's always fascinating, right? When you've done any of this stuff, as long as we have collectively. I mean, we all are out gigging to get, but you get to know people and things come up. And if you're trying to change your path, sometimes it's difficult because the path of least resistance a lot of times is doing what you have been doing, right? The phone rings, and you're like, well, I'm not doing anything, so I might as well go do that, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to be really mindful of that because I don't want, time goes very quickly when you're gone and traveling, and I don't want to get so comfortable again that is where I am more than I'm here. I don't want it to be imbalanced. So I'm really, really cautious with that.
Well, that's good.
That's smart.
I'm just trying to be more
Yeah.
rooted in a new way here.
Well, that's great.
That's awesome.
That's outstanding.
Do you follow any sports teams or anything? Do you have any sports?
No. You're leading that. You're leading the witness,
I'm
Rex.
sorry.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
we ask every guest, Jess, and let her answer the way she is. Since Cincinnati is a very rich sports history town, if you were to wear a jersey or rock a jersey, what jersey would that be, and whose name would be on the back of it?
Oh my God, I just thought of someone.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
She was just arrested, though.
Well, that's okay. Wait,
Yeah.
has she been convicted?
Wait. This is an athlete? A local athlete?
She's not local. See, I don't have
Oh, that's
local.
okay.
Well, okay.
Oh, no, but who is this
Yeah.
person?
I loved
Yeah.
gymnastics growing up,
Okay.
and I was
Awesome.
following. And so in the '84 Olympics, I was
Mary Lou
I was
Retton.
all about Mary Lou Retton.
Ah,
There you
I
yeah.
did
go.
see she just got. I think it was a DUI.
Okay.
I think she's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think she'll be all right.
well, let's hope so. Did she have that butt cut too?
She,
No, she didn't.
has
She had
also graduated.
She had the Dorothy Hamill. That's right. I remember now.
It was not far off. I think the Dorothy
Yeah.
Hamill was like a butt cut.
Just
tilted
off to the side.
She's
Yeah.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
Christmas movies of all times, which is Scrooge with Bill Murray. She
Oh my
has
God.
a
Oh,
good
yeah.
part where they're putting on the show, right? And she does backflips across the thing.
Yeah.
And well, shout out to our classmate Craig Boyd. I'll never forget. So we went to school with this guy named Craig Boyd, and in his phone, and I have no idea whether it's real or not.
Oh, I remember that.
In his phone book, it would have been a phone book at the time. He had Mary Lou Retton's phone number.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
how would we? First of all, I have no idea where it was supposed to come from, but he convinced us all that that's
Yeah.
her real phone number.
And how did he have her number?
We have no idea.
We have no-
This is
Exactly.
the 80s, right? Totally
Right.
unverifiable at the time. You would have no way of checking any of this, but he convinced us all. In his little book, he'd open up and go, "That's Mary Lou Retton's phone number." Sorry, it just popped in my mind when he said it.
So random.
Well, I really appreciate you coming down
Thank
and
you.
talking to
Yeah.
us. And how was your first podcast? Was
It was
okay?
great.
Yeah, it's fun,
Thanks,
right?
guys.
Well, it's so funny because like I said, we all knew each other in high school, but we found that it's really just kind of fun because you talk to people in ways that you just wouldn't normally get to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And you get to remember things that you haven't thought about in years, like Mary Lou
Like
Retton.
Mary Lou Retton.
The NattyCast is proudly brought to you by Pago Lago Productions. This show is hosted by Tim Barker, Rex Stull, and Ron Thomas. Produced and edited by Matthew Lake and associate produced by Ethan Spanja. Special thanks to Sadie Kern at Pop Gun Flow for the graphics and to Brando Triantafilu for the original theme song. Feel free to follow us at _NattyCast on Instagram or head to our website, thenattycast.com. You can get this show wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you next time.